Yes. Good morning, student. Today we will see the first chapter of class 10, that is force. Right? Force. In ninth class, we have already studied about the force. Right? It is pull or push on any object. Is called force. What about force? Another way we can define it, the cause, which type of cause? External cause, right? Due to which a body can displace from one point to another point is called force, right? It is an effort also applied by a man, an object, to displace the body from its initial position to final position. Okay, but in this chapter we have to study about rigid body. Basically, we have to study about rigid body, motion of rigid body, right, and so on. So now the first topic is rigid body. Which type of body? A rigid body. Okay. I hope you all have studied in previous classes about rigid body, right? What type of body is considered as a rigid body? A body whose shape and size are different, or you can say whose shape and size cannot be changed. How? By applying an external force. Suppose I have applied any external force on a body and we are not able to change their shape and size. That means there is no separation between the molecules of that object, that body. Then it is said to be a rigid body. Okay? Even no body in this universe, no body is rigid body. Even then, living soft plastic and rubber, all the bodies are assumed as rigid body. So if you want to write in a single line, what about rigid body? A body which has definite shape and size. Shape and size. Get it? A body which has a definite shape and size. Okay. For example, if you want to understand, for example, living soft plastic and rubber, all the bodies are assumed as a rigid body. Okay, now we have to see what type of motion are possible on a rigid body. Whenever any rigid body is placed, right, how it can be move. Either it will move on a straight line, either it will rotate about an axis. If the body is able to move on a straight line, then at that time what type of motion it is called? I'll tell you, don't worry. It is called translational motion, right? And when we apply an external force on an object which is initially at rest, due to the force, if it is able to move, if it is going to move on a straight line path, right, in a definite interval of time with respect to this time, then the motion of the object is said to be translational motion. And what about rotational motion? if the object is able to rotate about an axis, then it is said to be rotational motion. So type of motion, right? Can I rub it? Okay. So we can say in this way, we can say on applying an external force, the motion of a rigid body. On applying an external force, the motion of rigid bodies are the motion of rigid bodies are number one, translational motion, right? Which type of motion is said to be translational? The straight line motion. The straight line motion is called translational. How it can be defined? I'll tell you again. When an object which is initially at rest, a force is applied on an object and it is going to move with a constant speed, with variable speed, it doesn't matter, but it's going to move on a straight line path, then the motion of object is said to be translational motion, right? The motion of car, motion of the bicycle on a road, motion of yourself if you are going to your school by hanging bag behind your neck, back, right? These are the example of straight line motion. Motion of bus, motion of train, motion of bicycle, motion of car, right? Many more examples are there. Basically one dimensional motion are considered as translational motion. Even it is possible two dimensional also, right now 2, 3 doesn't matter, but it should be move on a straight line motion. Now rotational motion. The second one is rotational motion. When an object is rotating about an axis, when an object is rotating about a, when an object is rotating about a definite point, that point is called pivoted point. Point in bracket we can write pivoted point. Pivoted is also called point. Then its motion is said to be the rotational motion. Okay. Rotational motion. Clear? Okay. Now the next topic is, okay, before going to next topic we have to see the example of rotational motion. Any one of you can you give me what are the example of rotational motion? No idea? No, you have idea. Okay. The motion of wheel, right? Motion of wheel, motion of door, which is already rotate about a definite point. Many more examples are there. Now the next topic we have non-rigid body. Which type of body? Non-rigid body. Non-rigid body. A body whose shape and size. A body whose shape and size are not fixed, not definite, are not definite. That means whose shape and size can be changed by applying an external force is called non-rigid body. Okay, for example, rubber, we can stretch this. When we apply an external force, there is a separation between the molecules. There is a minimum, at least separation through a small distance between the molecules. Okay, so it is said to be non-rigid body. Okay, thank you for today.